welcome back to the channel. I've got another quick update on the progress in the assembly of the 32, as I'm still waiting on the dash for the Cobra so I can start the wiring on that. Let's show you what we've got done so far. I should warn you ahead of time, it's a lot of little things that add up to a lot, so let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, right off the bat, what you're going to see is you got the headers in, which of course I don't have the exhaust run as of yet. That'll have to happen later, but I also have the steering arm back in, so the steering is now hooked up. I'll show you the steering wheel and the column in just a moment. This was enormously close. I clearanced the header just a little bit, which basically means getting a hold of it with a big hammer and knocking a dent in it so it will actually clear, but it does clear. The sending unit for the oil pressure gauge is in. The sending unit for the water temp is in. I have the throttle hooked up now. So all of the pedals are in the car as of now. You can see that the hood is off and my connections are off on the prop rods right there. The reason for that is I am waiting for another attempt at the V-belt for the air conditioning compressor rather, excuse me. I had to clearance this a little bit as this is very close. And of course I've got to get, it's so tight that I have to be able to move the radiator just a little bit to get the belt in once I do get it. Speaking of belts, I finally got the correct belt for the alternator, so that is good. There's a little bit better look at the throttle linkage setup. Now coming to the inside of the car. Steering wheel is in. You can see I've got the column in right now. There is the the gas pedal and the brake pedal. Those are all lined up. And what you'll notice here, the shifter is hooked up. Shifter linkage is hooked up to the C4 transmission, as you can see that right there. I'm going from memory. I'm not sure if I've actually covered this yet or not, but the headlights are mounted. These contain the signal lights within the bulb. Got those done on both sides. I've started the mock-up of the actual lines for the air conditioner, but I'm not quite ready for that yet. I've got to run the lines for the air conditioner. The radiator hoses, I need some clamps for the upper. I need 4 of them total, but that one is hooked up. And of course, if you can see right through there, the lower radiator hose is hooked up. Let me see if I can give you a better look at that. There it is. It's a very small hose, but it is hooked up. It's ready to go. Again, there's a look at the upper hose. I need to go to the store and get some clamps. We're not quite there yet, but headlights are in as I noted. And coming back here to the back of the car, we have tail lights. These are stock style 32 Ford tail lights. And of course on this one you've got the license plate mount on it as well. That is good. Another thing I've done that I'm not going to bother showing you, well, I might as well show you. Before, if you recall, when you pulled the lever for the trunk lid, I had to have somebody back there actually holding the lid for me because it did not have anything to make it pop up, and now we do. I'm going to reach under here and pull up on that lever right there, which pops the trunk. Let's take a look. Okay, I don't know if you heard that audible pop, but that is up. And you can see now it's actually up to the point where you can just reach in here and it will stay open. Lift up that. There's the popper that I put in right there. I've got the weather strip coming for the deck lid, but in the meantime, we are good to go. Again, on the passenger side of the car, there is the header for it. It is in place. This one was a lot easier to deal with, of course. There's a better look at the belt for the alternator. That one is tightened up and ready to go. Inside the car, of course, and again, I may have showed you that. I apologize if this is repetitive, but the air conditioning condenser is mounted and in place. I've got the dash back out so I can do some wiring and work under there. And of course, I will put the dash back in once that's done. There's a better look at the column. As you can tell, it's a lot of little things. Now, I've gone through quite a list of stuff already. I've got a long way to go. But the good news is we are making progress, and right now it's very hot and humid outside, so I'm primarily just coming out here when I feel like it, doing some work for a little while, taking a break, etc. Come back, do it as I can, and follow that pattern. But so far, the car is really coming together well. Again, there is my hood. I've already remounted the mounts for that. It's good to go. The car is coming together quite well, really starting to resemble a hot rod at this point. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I really appreciate you joining me. I know this was a short one, but I'm just going to keep giving you updates on this as I go. The point of assembly is there's a lot of little things that need to be done. Coming up next, of course, I'm waiting for that belt to come in, and assuming I get the right air conditioning compressor belt, I'll bolt the prop rods back up to the radiator, remount the hood. That should be good to go. And then probably next, after that is done, we're going to start wiring. I've got a painless harness already ready for it. So we'll start wiring, get all the switches and everything done, and get this thing going. Thanks for joining me. Be sure and hit subscribe. Come back and see us again. We've got a lot of stuff coming. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks.